Hello everyone, good afternoon. Um, we will begin the session now. I would like to welcome everybody for the Q&A session on JKS Scholarship 2026. My name is Ishita and I will be hosting today's session where we'll answer many of your questions. Before we start, I would like to put forward some basic rules that you need to follow. Please keep your microphone muted during the session so that there is no disturbance when the questions are being answered. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat of the Zoom meeting or the YouTube live chat. But make sure that the questions are very specific and to the point. Avoid putting very general questions. And all the questions that you did put down in the Google form will also be answered in the session. So please be patient. So as we begin, I'll pass the mic on to Satisha, who will give you a brief explanation about the basic changes that have happened in the scholarship and how you can apply before we move on to the main Q&A session of the part. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Nishita. Welcome everyone to this live session by LKI on GKS Undergraduate Scholarship 2026. So basically, first, I would like to give you a brief about the GKS because many of you are applying for GKS for the first time, and you have no idea like how things goes on. I'm sure like you have studied, checked the guidelines and read information on other websites and Instagram accounts. But I just want to go through the official guidelines once very quickly, covering only the mainly important points that you must know. And then we will just answer questions, whatever questions you have already asked through our Google form and that you are asking through chat on YouTube and also in this Zoom chat. So let me share my screen and let's start right away. Just a second. Is my screen shared now? Yeah, I hope you can see it. Okay, so first of all, everyone, GKS has two types of scholarships, one for undergraduate, one for graduate. So those who have completed their high school and who want to go to Korea for their bachelor's degree, they apply for this undergraduate scholarship, which comes out in September every year. And there is another scholarship, GKS-G graduate, which comes in January or February every year. It is for those who have completed their undergraduate bachelor's degree or master's degree even, and who want to go to Korea for their master's degree or PhD. Okay, most of the rules and regulations are common between both the scholarships. So even if like some of you are planning to apply for GKS graduate, still I think most of the information that we will give you in this session will apply to you as well. So today we are going to focus on the undergraduate one because the announcement has come out already. And so let's start here. So basically, I would suggest all of you that you should check this document. It's a 39-page guidelines, which is available on the LKI website. You can check it on the Study in Korea website and many other places. But make sure that the websites from where you are downloading these documents are authentic websites. Okay, so download the document and read it carefully 2-3 times. Okay, because most of the questions that you are asking, they have already been answered in this document. Okay, so you have to read it not just casually but thoroughly, properly, every single line. But here I'm not going to read 39 pages. I'm just going to show you the important places where you have to focus. Okay, so these are the two types of programs that this scholarship covers: associate degree and bachelor's degree. Associate degree, usually most of the people I have known, they apply for a bachelor's degree. But associate degree is also one program which is like not a bachelor's degree, but it's a short kind of 2-3 years program, mostly technical subjects. So engineering, and like we have in India, we have polytechnic and other stuff. So those kind of degrees are there. So those who are interested in that, they can apply for associate degree as well. So in GKS, there are two tracks, embassy track and university track. Okay, so embassy track simply means that all these countries that qualify under GKS, like there are 71 countries, I think. So they can apply through Korean embassies in their country. And the university track means you can apply directly to the university in Korea. That is the basic difference. So what happens here is that the only difference, ultimately, see, your scholarship will be decided by university and the agency that gives this scholarship, NIID, National Institute for International Education. That is the agency that gives this scholarship. So ultimately, they will be deciding the final selection. But the first round, whether you get selected for the first round or not, that will be decided by, just give me a second. My pen is not. Anyway, yeah. So the first round, if you apply through embassy track, will be decided by embassy. The embassy will decide whether they want to recommend you from India or not. And after that, university and NIID will decide whether they want to choose you or not. In the university track, the first round will be happening at the university level. So the university will basically see whether they want to accept you or not. If they say that, yes, this student is good, we want to take this student in, then they will send your their recommendation to NIID. Ultimately, NIID is the main body that will be deciding the scholarship, right? So that is the meaning of the tracks. Now, basically, you see here that there is general and overseas Korean, which is not relevant here. These are for Koreans who are overseas, like born overseas. It doesn't apply to us. And then there is RGKS. RGKS is nothing but regional GKS. Okay, so in Korea, there are universities which are like very, very famous, like SNU and Yonsei, Korea, and many other, Hanyang and Eva. All these universities, are not only in Seoul, there are many universities which are outside Seoul in the other cities, but they have very good international rankings. So those universities come under type A. So if you see a list here, they have two types of universities, type A institutions, which are like kind of very popular, and most of the students want to go to these universities because they're very popular. And then there are type B, which are not that popular, but these are all good universities. Remember that. No university that is listed under NIID is a bad university. Okay, so you will not go wrong with any of these universities. They have very high education standards, but these are not that popular now for many reasons. They don't have many foreigner students and they have not got exposure yet, or they are relatively new universities like that. So these universities come under type B. So what happens here when you apply through this general option through the embassy track, they ask you to choose at least one university from type B, and the other two universities you can choose from type A, or you can decide. So basically, three universities you have to choose, out of which one must be from type B. Here they have mentioned already. For general embassy track, you choose up to three universities, and at least one of them should be from type B. Okay. But let's say someone wants to increase, their chances, that I don't want to go for these popular ones. I just want to be selected. I want to go to Korea. It doesn't matter whether it's a small university. So you can choose the RGKS and you can choose two universities just from here, from type B. So under RGKS, you can choose up to two universities. So in general, you have to choose three. In RGKS, you have to choose two only, but both of them should be type B. That is the only thing. Earlier, this RGKS was under university track. So university track में difference mainly ये है कि university track में you can apply only to one university. If you apply through embassy, you have the option to choose three or two universities. In the university track, you send your application only to one university. And so why would someone do that? If you have the option to choose three, why would someone choose one university? Because let's say you apply to choose three universities here. Your documents are screened by embassy. Okay. Let's say embassy people think that this is not a good candidate, and they remove your application from the pool right there. Then your application never reaches university or NIIT. They don't even get to see the Korean universities. Maybe if your department, had seen your documents application, your professors had seen the document, maybe they would have felt something different, that maybe this student is good. But here, the whole decision is taken by embassy. So you have to, if you feel that the embassy people will be impressed by your profile, then this is the good track for you. If you have doubt that I'm not sure about embassy people, but university department will definitely be impressed by my profile, in that case, you can choose university. No track is good or bad. Okay. So it's all about luck ultimately. So if you apply through general or RGKS, there is no guarantee that your document will go to 2 universities or 3 universities. It may not go anywhere if they reject it in the first round. In university track, you apply to only one, but you are sure that one university will check your documents at least. Okay, so because the documents will go first to the university. They will have the first look at it, and then they will decide whether they want to take you in or not. So in the embassy track, the application process is like this. Let me take you to this page. So if you apply through embassy track, the first round happens at embassy. Then they recommend you to the NIIT. And then the second round happens at NIIT. This. And then if NIIT also feels that this student is good, we want to take him in, then they will forward your application to all the 3 universities or 2 universities that you have chosen. And let's say all 3 universities feel that they want to take you in, you're a good student, then you can choose which university you want to go to. Or let's say 2 of them choose you, then you can choose which. So, or if no university selects you, let's say NIIT and embassy both selected you, but the universities feel that no, this is not a good candidate, then you are rejected and in the last round. That is what happens. If you apply through embassy track, obviously you apply to only one university. That university either rejects you or selects you. If they select you, they will send your documents to NIIT saying that, yes, this student is good. We want to take you with this student in. And then the NIIT will check other things like, is this student good, like depending on the country from where you are from. So they will check other criteria, qualifications, and all these details. And then if they feel that you are good, then you are selected. That is what happens. Particularly, there is no step 3 in the university. And basically, the university and NIIT, these are the only 2 bodies that will check your application. So there is no step 3 for university track. Only for embassy track, we have the 3rd round. So I hope it's clear. The deadlines and all you should check. So what is happening this time is the major difference. Earlier, what happened was you had to apply offline. So if you wanted to apply through your embassy track, you had to make a set of all the documents, application form, recommendation letter, all the documents, and you had to send it to the embassy, Korean embassy in India, in Delhi. And if you wanted to apply through university track, you had to send all those documents to university in Korea through courier. But now, because it's a lot of hassle, sometimes documents don't reach on time. Sometimes, it takes a lot of money, to prepare and send this, and they don't return you. Even if you're not selected, the documents they keep. So a lot of money is wasted. So a good change that they have done this time is they will be doing the first round online only. So you have to apply online. You don't have to, send anything in the initial level. So what you have to do, all of you, is you should go to the website studyinkorea.go.kr. You should do it before 15th. 15th is the date when this application process is starting. You should go to this site before that and make sure to create an account. Click on this sign up button and you have to basically agree to all the terms and conditions. You are 14 plus, consent, next. And then fill all the details like your name, your ID, user ID, password, gender, date of birth, and complete your registration. Once your registration is completed on 15th, 11 a.m. Korea time, India time will be like 7:30. So you have to log in and you will see an option to apply for GKS undergraduate. That is how it's going to happen. Now, let's go back to our guideline document. See, so these are the universities and that you have to select. You know how to select universities. Then there is an UIC track. UIC track is nothing but under university track, there's a UIC thing you see here. UIC is what? University industry cooperation. So basically all the technical subjects, STEM subjects are listed. So if you want to study history or philosophy or culture or language, those things will not be coming under UIC. So you see all these universities and available majors. If you check here, all these degrees are technical: software, computer engineering, AI, mechanical. So if you are interested in that, there are 100 seats and there is no division between countries. All the countries qualify for these 100 seats. So they will select the best students. It doesn't matter whether they come from India or US or Afghanistan. It doesn't matter. So it's open to all the countries. So if you are someone who wants to go for these technical subjects, you should definitely consider UIC, university track option. The other things, RGKS and general one, they have a lot of subjects. General subjects are available. So for that, if you want to check you're not sure which university to apply to, which subject to choose, subject obviously you have to decide, but it's not that all the university provide all the available majors. So you have to go to, and download the documents, this list of university information. And here, if you go, if you see, you will see all the universities information is available here. And you just have to check the Excel sheets and see what what departments are available. So they have very clearly, a very clear Excel sheet where they have mentioned under this university, which department is available, which major is available. And you have to, when filling the application form, make sure that the name of the department, the field of study, and everything matches properly. Okay. So you should not randomly fill any department like that. So because every university has a different name for different subjects, right? So you have to make sure that where you are applying. And here they have also mentioned that what will be the medium of instruction. So if you want to study in Korean, then only you should apply for these subjects. If you want to study in English, look for the universities that provide English medium courses. Okay. So make sure to go through this list of universities and the subjects and choose the university very carefully. Okay, so now we are done with how to go about number of seats. If you apply through embassy track, the number of seats are 4, 2 under general, 2 under RGKS. For UIC, as I told you, for university track, there is no country-wise distinction. Everyone is qualified for that. Now, eligibility is very simple. You should have completed your high school. And or you should be able to submit your graduation certificate by 31st. So by 31st, like, there is no exam is going to happen for board, right? So if you have already passed, then only apply, otherwise wait for the next year. Your CGPA or your percentage should be 80% or above in the final board exam, final 12th cert. It doesn't matter what was your grade in 10th or 11th or 9th, doesn't matter. Your final overall score in high school should be 80%, or if it is CGPA, it should be out of these. If your mark sheet doesn't show percentage or any of these scales, 4.0, 4.3, 4.5, or 5.0, then you need to convert your grades using some online application like a Scholaro and so on. And you must get it signed and stamped by your school that this is the right conversion and we approve that it is correct. Then only it will be accepted. Otherwise, it will not be accepted. Many of the students say that they don't have a transcript. What to do in that case? Just submit, like, get all the mark sheets that you have apostille and submit it. finally, like final score should be there, right? 12th certificate. Some students don't have 11th certificate, they just have 10th and 12th. Whatever certificates you have, just if you read it properly, they have already mentioned that you don't have need to have all the 10th, 11th and everything. Your final, let me scroll and check the important points here. Age should be 25. Rest of the questions we will answer during the Q&A session. Okay. First, let's go through the whole document once. You should apply to through only one track. Okay. First, that is a very important rule, and you should choose only one department. So, for example, if you are applying through embassy track, don't choose three different departments that I want to do philosophy from university A and history from university B. And no, it should choose only one department, because SOP will also will write accordingly, right? If you want to study history, your SOP will be according to that only. If you choose multiple departments, then SOP will not sync in with all these choices. So make sure to choose only one. If we talk about the application dates, the date to apply for the embassy track is last date is 30th September, and the results will be announced by October 17th. So if you are not selected on 17th October, you got to know that I have not been selected for the embassy track, then you can still apply for the university track, because the last date for university track is 31st October. So you have like 13 days or so to apply for the university track online. Okay. So remember, keep that in mind, that both options are open to you. So there is no harm in trying for embassy track. This is the, date schedule. So check it. Now coming down, what are the documents that you have to upload? So first of all, there is a lot of confusion I see on internet. People are saying whether you need to apostille documents or not in the first, during the first round application. I would suggest that they haven't clearly mentioned anywhere in the guidelines, but I would say that don't take the risk. Upload only apostille documents, because here if you see clearly they have given on the left side, submit with apostille consumer confirmation. So there is no need to take any risk. So what you have to do is, when you will start application process, the application form, though they have given the application form in the document folder, so basically this will be the same form, but it will be just online. Okay. So you have to type everything in, you have to upload your photograph and all the documents, but the format, I hope at least that it will be same. There will not be much change. So application form, you should fill online directly in the system. Then your personal statement, you will just copy paste, obviously, if you have written it in some Word document or something. Study plan will be input in the system only. Recommenders information. So in the application form, if you check, there is a form number 4, I think. Yes. So you should print this page. Okay. And you should fill these details, your name, your citizenship and major. And this should be completed by the recommender. After filling these details, you should give it to the person who will write your recommendation later. Okay, and request him to fill these in, or you can fill these in and ask them to sign. Signature should be the person's. And then you should scan this page and upload it online. Later, if you get selected, you will have to send this physical copy of this document along with the actual recommendation envelope. Okay. So right now you just have to download, print it and fill it up and upload this document during online process. You don't have to upload your recommendation later, obviously, because it will be sealed in envelope. So you can't upload it. So you have to print, scan and upload. Agreement and medical assessment, all these things will be online. So application form will be submitted through system. Just this recommendation form has to be printed and scanned. Now coming to the other documents, like your academic documents, you have to upload them. And I would recommend to upload only apostille, your certificate, your mark sheets, your transcripts, whatever educational documents you're uploading, it should be apostille. And it should be ideally in A4 size. If it is not in A4 size, if it is larger than that, then maybe fold it a little bit. And they have mentioned it clearly. If you read it properly, they have given clear information that if it is not A4, then you should either fold it or paste. If it is smaller than A4, then paste it on like on a A4 size sheet, and then scan it properly. Because if you upload a document that is, for example, this long, and they will be printing it through a simple printer, right? So they will not be able to print. So that's why they want like everything to be uniform standard. So yeah, all these documents for citizenship proof, if you have passport, that is the best. If you don't have the passport, get apostille, your voter ID and your parents' voter IDs, birth certificate, any kind of citizenship proof. Usually birth certificate, passport, and voter ID, these are the three documents that we recommend that you should get it done. Otherwise, many states also issue a nationality certificate. Like if you can go to SDM office, they issue a nationality certificate, which is like a citizenship proof, or domicile certificate. These kind of documents are there, but it may take time. I don't know about your area. It may you may have to drive a little bit, maybe you can get it faster. That is how things work in India. But yes, these documents might work. Uh, these things, proof of Korean war citizenship and overseas Korean doesn't apply to you. So mostly certificate and transcript. That's it. If you have topic certificate, just upload the scan copy. If you have IELTS or anything, upload the scan copy. But these are optional. You don't need to have topic or IELTS, not compulsory. Passport, if you have, good. If you don't have, it's not mandatory. So yeah, that is basically document submission. Make sure that your documents are in English or Korean. If not, if it is in Hindi or any other Indian language, get it translated and apostille properly. Okay, don't translate yourself and submit it like that. It should be notarized or properly. So yeah, that is all about the documentation. Now they say that each embassy may simplify the submission of documents. So Indian embassy, if they feel that they want to simplify the citizenship criteria, they have the authority to do that. But we will not know because the embassy announcements, like, they haven't come out yet, I think. So you will have to wait a little bit. Regarding the apostille process, I think all of you know already, because in India the documents are not very easy to get reissued. So it is recommended that instead of getting the original ones apostille, you should get a notarized copy and then apostille that one and submit it so that originals are left with you. Simple photocopies or simple notarized copies, if you just apostille the original and photocopy it and send it, that will not be accepted. They've clearly mentioned simple photocopies or notarized copies of apostille documents are not accepted. Yeah, so basically here also they are explaining like there should be this birth certificate or relationships. So passport is best, if not voter IDs. Yeah, like here they mentioned if passport are not copies are not available, then any government ID proof card that clearly indicates citizenship information will work. But let's say here I want to make a very important point that these documents are not crucial or critical. Obviously, your eligibility is like your 80% marks and CGPA. Those are the crucial documents. Your citizenship, it's mainly to ascertain that you are not a Korean person. You're not an someone who is like a child of a Korean parents or something, and you are not eligible for this scholarship and still you're applying. To just verify that. For Indians, your name, your photos already they show that you are not a Korean remotely even, right? So they will not reject or something right away. There's clearly say here that your application may be put at a disadvantage. They're not saying that they will reject you, but it may have some disadvantage if you don't submit these documents properly. Okay, but I would say why to take risks? Submit all the documents if you can. Expected graduation, I don't think it applies to India, because in India, if you have already either you have already passed 12th or you will pass next year, right? So I don't think there is any issue here. For graduation one, if you are going to graduate by the for example, let's say July or so, in not July, I think, yeah, they will give you a date for next year. By that date, if you are going to graduate, then you should submit expected graduation certificate from your department that this student is in the final year and this student will be graduated by this month and year. It should clearly be mentioned, otherwise they will not accept it. And if you have a provisional certificate, let's say if you have already passed your bachelor's degree, but you don't have the original certificate, you have a provisional one, that is totally fine. If it is mentioning your graduation date that the student has graduated, then it will be considered as a certificate of, oh sorry, if it doesn't indicate, then it will be considered as certificate of expected graduation. If it has the graduation date, then it is your original certificate. It's not an issue. Uh, So here it means I was talking about the 11th another issue that if a transcript indicates CGPA for the entire academic duration, for example, your grades for 12th is your CGPA for your entire 11th and 12th, right? It will be accepted even if it doesn't indicate CGPA or GPA per semester or year. So even if year-wise, details are not there, but your overall CGPA is there in the document, it will be accepted. Okay, so nothing to worry about. Topic and TOEFL IELTS not required. I already told you. If you have any other awards, certificates, extracurricular things, submit those. No need to get them apostille or anything. You can just submit the signed copies and that should work. Yeah, rest are very basic details that you should check your names and all properly. On every document, you should mention the name of the document like this. Like number one, my high school certificate. Number two, my high school transcript. Number three, my birth certificate. So all the documents should be properly marked and they should be in the proper order. So they have given a proper order of documents also. So make sure that you follow the order. So that is basically all. Regarding benefits and all, I think you already know, you will be provided the two-way airfare and a monthly allowance for living expenses. All your Korean language training fees, your university costs, tuition fees cost, everything is covered. Um, yep, that's all. So if I have missed anything, with us, we have Sham Baby, who is a GKS scholar who was selected in 2025 under embassy track, right? So Sham Baby, if I have missed anything important, please make sure to correct me and add those details.
As for now, you have mentioned everything, and I think it's sufficient.
Okay, so now let's okay, one important thing I think I want to quickly cover. Many of you are confused, or maybe you want some tips or something regarding the personal statement and SOP. They have very clearly given you all the required hints that you need for writing a statement. In personal statement, they want you to know what is the motivation behind your application. Why do you want to study in Korea? Why that subject? Why that university? Okay, so that motivation should be clear. Your educational background. Obviously, you will not outline every single thing, but yeah, overall educational background should be there. Any significant experiences that you have had, anything important in your life that you think that can impact, that can influence the decision that, okay, this is a good candidate, that shows your perseverance, your motivation, that you study hard and so on. Include those information. Any extracurricular activities. But if you are mentioning anything, any extracurricular activities, you have to support that with a document. For example, if I say that I won a national Olympiad, how do they know whether that I won or not? So you have to add a document that proves that see, this is the certificate. So clearly, whatever awards or anything that you have mentioned, see here they have mentioned it is recommended to submit a supplementary document that can prove what you have described in your personal statement. Okay, so just add this information. Don't make it too long, okay, because no one wants to read like a 3-page personal statement. If best is to keep it under 1 page. If it goes a little bit beyond, that's fine, but don't make it too lengthy. In the study plans, again, they have very clearly, given a proper format. So you just have to first mention how are you going to improve your Korean and English. So a good point about Indian students is that we already like have good English. So you can mention that in your personal statement somewhere here, and make sure to mention here as well that if your study was in English medium, let's say, for example, that's a strong point. Okay, so you can mention that all my studies happened in through English medium, so my English language ability is already good. So they will know that even if this person is not submitting TOEFL or IELTS, because the person has studied in English medium like through the high school, so no need to have TOEFL or anything. So mention to properly mention that if you are studying Korean language already, if you're enrolled in a Korean language course, mention that I have already enrolled in the Korean language in a proper way, and I am studying the language in a systematic way. And once I go to Korea, I will continue improving my Korean language skills and so on. If you have filled the form for topic but certificate is not there yet, mention those things that I have taken topic test and I'm expecting to get this level. There is no harm in it. So just mention whatever things are relevant about language plan, and then your major subject, why you have chosen that major, what motivated your, what made you interested in that subject, how do you plan to study that subject, any particular area that you want to focus on. And after studying that subject, after majoring in that subject, what is your plan? Do you want to do further research or further studies? Do you want to teach that subject? Do you want to start a business in that field? Whatever plans you have, you can mention that clearly. That is all you have. It's not like that complicated. Okay, don't make it too complicated. Just write very, very realistic, very, very clear, information. Don't get too much, content from AI, Chat GPT, and all, because then what happens is like all the ASOPs look very, very same, very similar, because everyone has got the information from same Chat GPT, right? So you have to make yourself a little bit distinct. And write in simple way. Don't write too lengthy and too flowery sentences and so on. Yeah. They are interested in, obviously they will check your language skills as well here, but they are mainly interested in knowing you, what you are, why you are going, you want to come to their university, and what do you plan to do after that. So that's the last thing that I wanted to cover. For recommendation also, when you are requesting your teacher to write a recommendation, clearly mention that I am applying for this major and this subject, so that they can include somewhere that information somewhere that this student is interested in this subject and so on. So make sure to give a clear profile to the recommender. Yeah, that's it. So now let's go to the question and answers. Yeah, I would like, yeah, Ishita to
Yeah,
help with
so
questions. Yeah, and Sham, maybe you can feel free to answer the questions.
Yeah, sure.
yeah. So students are
Yeah.
asking, when we scan the copy of the apostille documents, do we scan both the sides because the stamp is on the back side?
Yeah, we need to
Both
sign,
sides.
yeah, both the sides.
Yeah. And then students were asking, if we are applying through our GKS, which is now under embassy track, do we have to wait for embassy update on whether there will be an online submission or offline submission for the first round?
Well, it's the new change, but I think it's like safe to wait. Yeah.
I feel that the application, if you read it carefully, the whole guidelines, application is going to be online for both the tracks. That is my, what I felt, that everything will go to the system. You will have to an option to choose whether you are applying through embassy track or university track. But the first round is going to be completely online. They're not going to take. They have clearly mentioned, if you read the guidelines, that some countries like Russia, they are not accepting this online system for embassy track. They want to physically, get everything. So mentioning that clearly that Russia is not accepting means other countries will be having online, right? So that is my feeling, that it will be online for embassy track as well.
And there was some confusion regarding the language certificate, English language certificate. People were saying that for the UIC track, we need to have a language certificate. So people are confused because in the guidelines, it's specifically stated that we don't need one.
But if you have one, it definitely gives you bonus points. But if even if you don't have, it's okay because it's clearly mentioned in the guidelines that it's an optional. certificate.
Technically, it's not
And
required, but yeah, obviously, if you have one, definitely you should submit. Sometimes I personally, I will tell you, when I had applied, though it was a very long time back for GKS, I had got like a certificate from my department, my university department, mentioning that the medium of instruction in our university, our in our organization is English. So this student is studying through English. So that is already a very solid proof of your English language skills. If you can get that, and I know like some schools can be like, why should I write this for you? But if you can get it, I think that can also be, some advantage, I think.
yeah, and again, people were saying that there's some agency that has put up a guideline. I'm not sure, they haven't specified which, but they said that they're stating that there's a word limit for the personal statement and study plan, that it's about 5,000 characters. But I don't think anything is specified in the guidelines.
Yeah, the guidelines have not specified about the number of characters, but they have mentioned about the number of pages. They said that the personal statement is supposed to be like 2 pages, under 2 pages. So I think we should see that.
And they were asking, should we submit the online certificates in their digital form, or like should we print it and then get them scanned?
I think, yeah, if you're talking about the required certificates like proof of citizenships and all, you need to
The
like print.
the additional certificates, the one
Ah,
they gave in competitions,
no, we can just scan the copy and send it.
right?
Yeah.
And is there a limit, since it's become online now? Is there a limit to how many certificates that can be shared, and whether they should be shared separately in different PDFs, or should we compile them in one single PDF?
I think it's better to combine them in one thing, but there's nothing mentioned in the guidelines about how many certificates we should send. I think it's up to us.
And it is being said that after you pass the first round, in the second round, there's going to be one more different online application. So is there any idea whether any guidelines have been up about that?
Well, as long as
So
I know of this new change, the first, okay.
yeah, go ahead, Shamim. Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, the before first round we need to apply online, and when we get selected, we need to send the documents, I think physically to the either NIID or the universities for the second round selection.
Yeah, so basically what happens is like all the application forms that you have filled in online, application form, statement, and all these things, they will provide you an option to print that out, the filled in application form. Okay. So you all those things you can just print from there. Once you are selected for the first round, print it from there. And then your documents are already with you, right? So just attach everything, and then physically you will have to send all those documents to NIID. But I don't think you need to worry about that at this stage, because they will guide you. Once you are selected for the first round, they will clearly, release the guideline for those selected students, what you have to do. So right now, I think your focus should be on the first round.
And they were asking, because nothing about the interview was specifically stated in the guidelines, is the interview process going to be the same, or are there any changes?
I noticed somewhere in the guideline that they have mentioned an oral interview, but they did not mention anything in the selection procedure. So I think we should wait for their guidance.
And
So
they
I think
specifically,
somewhere they have mentioned that there
yeah.
can be, some interview and so on. But yeah, obviously, it's always flexible. Even if they mention it, it's not that there is a fixed thing. Some universities may decide to interview, some universities might select you right away without any interview. So it's their authority, it's their discretion whether they want to have the interview or not. For embassy, obviously, they are going to have how they will do it. Again, the embassy, it's every country's embassies, they have the authority to choose that process, whether they want to like invite you physically to the embassy, or they will attend like conduct some Zoom call or something, or through phone, or they don't have, they just want to decide through your documents. So just wait for that, I think. Yeah.
And they were asking, how do we submit a resume or a portfolio? Should it be like one single page, or it can be multiple pages?
Portfolio, I
Resume
think.
for what?
In case they want to send a resume to the university, they was not sure whether it should just be one page, because Koreans usually want it to be one page, is what the question was.
I don't think there's any need to. If they're not asking for a resume, why are you sending it? There is no need for a
Right.
resume because the form that you are filling, that is your resume basically. You are filling anything there, everything there, your educational background, your experiences, skills, everything are there in the form. So what are you going to write in the resume? There is nothing special. All your awards and everything are included in the statement and form and already. So don't send any unnecessary documents. Portfolio, if the university specifies, for example, if you're applying for some art major and they want your special portfolio or resume, what projects you have worked on, then only you should send. But otherwise, if it is not mentioned clearly, no need to send those things.
And this is specifically for Shambhavi. What was like the most difficult part of the application process? Like, was it the essay or the interview or any other part you found the most difficult?
The difficult part, the main part that I was worried about was, of course, the embassy interview because the first round decides if I like pass or fail this embassy track. So I think that was the difficult part, but yeah, if we prepare thorough enough, I think we can crack it. Yeah.
So
Like,
one more follow-up question I would ask to Shambhavi. Sorry, Ishita. So like how long was the embassy interview?
Um, I'm so sorry, I don't remember much, but
No,
I
no,
think it is
I
around
understand.
15 to 20
Like
minutes, not so long.
approximately, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. So they mostly ask questions from your own statement and study plan, or they were like general questions.
Yes, they ask from our own essays, like about our major
So
and
so
motivation. Yeah.
so was like were those questions very general or like very subject specific? For example, if you feel that this is my major, then they're asking you like some subject specific questions or something like that, or it was general motivation and why you want to study and so
Yes, for me it was just general.
general
They did not
questions.
ask me any major related questions. Yeah.
In my because I also attended the embassy interviews. I was also selected through embassy track, so the questions are pretty general actually. Nothing, it's like for example, I applied for Korean language major, so it's not that they will be asking me to some grammar concept or some sentence to translate. Nothing like that. They just ask generally like why Korean language and what do you want to do and so on. So you don't have to worry too much. Just be confident and you should know what you have written in your SOP and personal statement. Okay, so that is also it's very very important that you should review it clearly and you should write it yourself instead of getting from some AI or something. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
and
you can
was the
continue.
interview like a group interview or was it an individual interview? And what was the medium of the interview for the
Mine
MBC?
was a group interview.
Right.
Yeah, we can choose. We can either speak in English or Korean.
Okay,
So
and
so
it was
you
online?
had to go to online or yeah, online or offline?
Online. Yeah, it was online.
Okay, right. And like, because were there like any questions that you were like taken back with? Because usually we see a lot of scholars on the YouTube specifying like this were the questions that were asked, but is there any question that you were taken back with and what you were like not prepared for?
No, it was very general and very predictable.
Right, okay.
Yes.
And one more, how did you like stand out with your personal statement study plans? Is there anything like tips that you would give? This would like help you maybe stand out from the other scholars that are applying.
I think I like wrote it through storytelling from the beginning, how I got interested in Korea and stuff like that until the end. And yeah, I think storytelling and
Yeah, I think
I
that's like
think one point I would like to add here is that you should show sincerity. That's very very important. It shouldn't be like casually this person, watch some, you know, K-dramas or some videos on Instagram and decided to study in Korea. It shouldn't sound like that. So if you just show your passion that I like Korea, I love BTS, and that those are like very, very shallow types of motivation. Those can fizzle out in a few years. They want someone like who is really, who is interested. You may not even be interested in Korea. For example, if I tell you, I didn't say that I was interested in dramas or music or movies or anything. I'm interested in my subject. I want to study that subject, and I know that universities are good at it. You teach these subjects well, and I want to use that opportunity, and I think I can contribute to the field in that. So if you show your motivation for the subject, your commitment to research or study in that area, uh, particularly they because they don't want people who come to the Korea and they live for 6 months or 1 year and they drop the scholarship. They are not able to complete. That's a waste of money and resources for them. So they want you to complete the course to be, and it's going to be hard, right? The studying in Korea is not a joke. So they want really motivated and sincere students. So I think showing sincerity is very, very important.
Yeah, I think that was all the questions that we had from the chat and the comments.
Any other questions from have you taken questions from the YouTube chat as well?
Yes.
We have covered most of them.
Yeah. And yeah, there is one more question that came. Should they attach the topic certificate in the second round now? Because if they get the certificate and they're submitting it later, physical, when they're submitting the physical.
I didn't get that question. Like, you got it, Shambhi thing.
No, can you
Like
please
when
repeat?
so when they apply, they don't have the certificate, so they won't be stating that they have the topic certificate. But if they get the certificate, like they've given the
Okay.
exam and they receive the certificate by the time they have to apply for the second round, is it okay if they directly send it during the second round? Or because they haven't mentioned it, they
So
can't
they
send
have
it?
not clearly mentioned that they will accept it. So we don't know. They might not accept it because at the time of application you don't have it. Like so technically you don't have it. But let's say your application is still under process. Let's say your application applied through embassy track and your applications is still with the university. You have not been rejected yet, and you got your topic certificate. You got level 3 or 4, and I think you think that's a good thing that the university should know. You can mail them separately to the international office that, hey, my application might be under process at a university. I just wanted to inform you whether you consider it or not, but I just wanted to let you know that I have got topic certificate to show you that I'm really interested in the language. So depending on them, they might consider, but you can't demand, I have got it, so you have to, consider it. No, because technically they have not mentioned. If you don't have it at the moment, you don't have it. But yeah, there is no harm, I would say, in sending. If you applied through university track, there also you will have the option because ultimately, till the end, if you have not been rejected in the first round, you can send it through embassy track. It's the same thing. So if you have not been rejected, I would say definitely send a mail to NIID as well as university. There is no harm in it. They will not give you negative marks or anything for informing them.
Like for the graduates, I've seen on the group also, a lot of the universities in India, they have to wait a year for the main degree certificate and they usually provide a provisional certificate. So they were asking whether they should take a gap year because even if they do submit the provisional certificate and get selected, they won't be able to submit the original one till 31st July.
For undergraduate one or graduate one?
Graduate one.
So as I already told, like provisional certificate in India is like a very different system. So sometimes, for example, if you have already completed your graduation, you have passed the exam, but still they will issue you a provisional certificate. The main one, like a decorated one, will come after a year or so. It doesn't matter. That provisional one is actually an original certificate. As long as it's mentioning the date of graduation, that this student has graduated in this month or on this date, then they will accept it as like a proper. But if you accepted graduation is a different thing. It's different from provisional certificate. It will not say anything about graduation. It will simply clearly say that this student is still enrolled, hasn't appeared in the exam, but there is a chance or it's like expected that the student will be completing the course by this date. So yes, if you even if you don't have the original final certificate, but you have the provisional one, and provisional one, I think university will issue you. If you request them, all the universities have the admin department, and if you tell them that I'm applying for something, they will issue a provisional certificate, and you can apply with that. There is no problem with that.
I think that was all questions.
Okay. So any other things, any extra thing? Maybe I have a few follow-up questions that I would like to ask Shamil, because so regarding the grade conversion, Shamil, I think there is a lot of confusion that I don't have this. I have five subjects in my certificates. There's some say that six subjects in my. So how do you do that? Like whatever subjects are there, you have to include all of them in your transcript if you're converting online through some website, or you have to just for CBSE particularly, I'm asking.
For me personally, I included all the subjects, and if
Mhm.
it's already in the 100-point scale, nobody needs to convert it. You can just submit it on 100-point scale.
Okay, so on 100 point, when you say, it means like the percentage, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so percentage you have to say. If it is already there in percentage, they don't need to do any conversion. They can just write, this is my percent. But there is also a CGPA field. There also they can mention just the percent. Let's say there is no per CGPA or anything. It's just percentage that they have.
Yeah,
In many states, they just issue percent. There is no CGPA kind of thing.
yes.
Or one more thing, everyone, I think you don't have to fill all the fields in the form. If something is not applicable, just leave it blank. So for example, let's say for 12th and 10th, they are asking semester wise GPA, but you don't have that, just leave it those blank. If you have only one CGPA, just fill that area. So you don't have to fill all the fields. Mm.
And we can even modify the columns.
You can
Uh,
modify the columns also. You can combine them, merge them, and you can split them as required. So they're very flexible as long as you fulfill the criteria. You have like the 80% marks, or you are in the top 20% of your class. Then other things don't matter that much, because they are also aware, NIAID is also aware that they are taking students from 71 countries. Every country has a different educational system, a school structure, and certificate system. So you can't expect everyone to have like the Korean kind of certificates and systems. So they are aware of that. So those minor things, they have the flexibility for that. But major crucial things, eligibility you should fulfill, right? So eligibility, if you have that final CGPA, that should be fine. And it should be like a proper authenticated certificate that they want to see. For example, a postile one, or with a school stamp and so on. Those things they will not compromise with. But other things, for example, one semester is missing, it's not there in my certificate, or subject is might have 5 or 6, 7. It doesn't matter, because every country will have a different way, right? Hmm. For citizenship and relationship proof, Shambhavi. So basically, they have if they have passport, they should submit that, because it will have father's mother's name, right? Anyway, if it is voter ID, they should submit all three voter IDs apostille. What is
yes.
your all three parents
Okay.
voter ID as well as your voter ID, and all should be apostille.
Yeah.
If it is a birth certificate, in that case,
It should be apostille to all three. If most of the people don't have their parents' birth certificate, so
so
they
the
can submit their birth certificate and the voter ID cards of their parents. It can
okay,
all.
okay,
That's
but it
what I.
can all it should all be apostille. Birth
Yes.
certificate and your parents' voter IDs. Okay. So yeah, conversion thing and documentation mainly. I think, is there any other confusion? Any fresh questions that we got?
There was this question. The university has given the recommendation letter in their own letterhead. Like they have the
Okay,
specific letterhead. Is that okay, or does it have to be
that's
under the
totally
guidelines? That's fine, right?
That's totally fine. They know that the teachers have the authority. I can decide that, say I have a diary in front of me. I will write my recommendation on this. I have the authority. As a teacher, I can write on anywhere I want. It's not the student's responsibility, because I am sealing the envelope and I am giving that to the student. So student has no say in the way I write it, right? So it's fine. So for the recommender, they have given the flexibility. They want to use letterhead or anything, but yeah, it should be sealed and it should be signed across the envelope. That is very, very important.
And if the stamp needs to be there, or is the signature fine? Or both of them need to be there?
Oh, the stamp is optional, but the signature is fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was all the fresh questions.
Okay, so obviously, if you have any other questions that maybe we have forgotten to cover, include in the session, you can always ask in the LKI students group and through other modes also, and we'll be happy to answer them. What is this MOI? Attach MOI certificate. What is MOI?
I think it's like it's regarding the employment or something. Okay.
Medium of instruction. See, apart from your educational qualification documents and your citizenship documents and application from all the documents, any additional thing will be other documents. So just attach them at the back, mentioning other documents. Whether it is award, extracurricular activity, medium of instruction, or anything else. Yeah, just add them as additional documents. Yeah. And I would suggest one more thing, that don't add too many irrelevant documents. Okay. If it is only if it is relevant, then add it. Otherwise, you can include, if you have too many certificates and if you decide to add everything, even if it is not relevant, I don't think that's a very good idea. For letter of recommendation, one last thing I want to add. They have clearly mentioned that they want letter of recommendation from your school teachers or principal or college deans or faculty member who have taught you in a regular way, uh, and they know you and they have known you for long enough to assess your abilities and everything. So it should not be from some coaching institution, from some tuition center, or from online institute or part-time institute, because they don't have the capacity to know you. For in a 2-hour online class, no one can judge like how good this student is and so on. So they are not going to accept even if you include that. So make sure to get it through proper teachers from your regular school, college. If you are applying for some, for example, management or business studies or something, they might accept some work experience certificate as well, like some sort of recommendation from your manager and so on. But because this is undergraduate scholarship, so by 12th, I don't know what kind of work experience you have got. So I would not recommend personally. For masters, definitely. But for 12th, like you are not even legal age to work in most of the companies, right? So getting a certificate from some random internship or something, that as a letter of recommendation, I don't think that will be. You can add those as additional supporting documents if you have got some let's say letter of appreciation for some internship, or from your part-time work. Those things can show your dedication and perseverance as a supportive document, but should not be your main LOR. No. Okay.
That is all.
And yeah, that's all. Okay, so let's wrap it up. Good that we were able to wrap it up quickly. So yeah, thank you so much, Shambhavi, for giving your time, and thank you, Ishita, for coordinating it so well. For other questions, obviously, we'll be updating you through our LKI students group and also through our social media. So just stay tuned for a few more days. We will be providing you all the updates you need for GKS, everyone. So thank you for joining today.
Thank you, sir and Ishita, for organizing this, and